cashed in, and so we had a cash out opportunity here at the end of this decline, right? With this like temporary breakout and then a notable decline into the coin cash out opportunity. And the reason why they want us to cash out here instead of out here is this will happen a lot. This is a good lesson on why you could still have a lower price level than where like it tells you to cash out. And the reason being is how many people who cashed out here, how many of you think that you would have held that position in the midst of this move or in the midst of this move in order to get to this position? There's two opportunities for you to end up losing the profits. So before those opportunities of doing the wrong thing take place, we're advised to take profits. But if you did hold on, if you're seasoned, we talked about knowing your risk tolerance. If you have a high risk tolerance and you held out until the end of the day here for this trade opportunity, I would definitely take profits at this time, guys. It's possible we go lower, but we should see pretty significant gains here, especially if you've got options. If you're looking to do the 11 trades to a million, what you want to do is double your money. So you look to exit at 100% gain every time. No matter if you see it going more or higher or whatever, you want to make sure that you take the profit while you have it rather than missing it completely, which a lot of novice traders will do. Right, and what I noticed looking at this overnight, looking a little bit closer, so we have the defeat card was this cross-reading congruency, right? And on the sequence of events, the defeat card took place today. So that was right there at the opportunity to take profits, right here, right? And then brief peak that's easily missed, followed by a sharp decline, and then a key reversal, the fortune card. Like a reversal that really stands out on a one-day chart, followed by a rally along a diagonal trend line ending with a fast sudden move higher and then a decline with increasing volatility on the way down, Knight of Wands, into the sideways rotation, Prince of Discs. But what I noticed is that sometimes, like, so I was looking for the Knight of Swords here, and I couldn't find a Knight of Swords on the 19th, on the 18th, on the 20th, on the 21st, right? So when something like that happens, what I did notice is that we've got a Knight here and we got a Prince of Swords, that you can combine those energies, you can sort of get like a Knight of Swords, and it would make sense that it's here because this is an important low. Cross-reading congruency, it takes place after the defeat card, which is the sequence of events. So my point being is that I think we probably see some move to the upside. I would not wait. If you haven't taken profits yet, make sure you take those short profits now. It's called short for a reason, my friends. And what I see is this Knight of Swords energy, which is a period of volatility, right? That ends with a fast sudden move higher, taking us into key resistance probably around the close. And then I think it's probably very likely that we open lower tomorrow, but I wouldn't bet on it. It's not conclusive to me. You know what? I might open depending on how high we go, which might not be that high at all, or it might be a good amount. I mean, it should be a good amount, actually, because it's the Prince of Swords. It's a lot of price change covered. In any case, depending on how high we go, I might open up a small short position to ride into tomorrow morning. But I would definitely make sure that the expiration is out past the end of, out in like the end of the first week of January. Or like the last week of October. I don't know why I said January. Last week of October, the 30th, 31st. Like it should expire out past that, like the first week of November, I should say. Because that way, if you're wrong about the short, if we're wrong about the short and opening lower here tomorrow morning, then what we'll have is another opportunity here, very, very likely on the 24th. But it gets really mixed here, guys. So I definitely want to position myself to play volatility and play some price swings in the last week of the month of October. This has been a very accurate reading thus far, guys. Very accurate reading thus far. Like 100% pretty much. You're a good boy, Hermes, you know? You like to sit right there on my lap, huh? Hey, Deduct. Hey, Nature's Well. Tomorrow is bearish. Yes, that's what I see as well. I see bearish, but it's going to be a mixed day bearish. The failure card here and the failure card here kind of stand out. The ruin card here and the ruin card here kind of stand out. So my sense is that we probably open lower, which is why I say depending on how much we move to the upside here at the end of the day, I might put on another short position. But I want to make sure that expiration is out past like the first few days of January. Because if we're wrong about that, tomorrow, because we might be, there'll be another opportunity on the 24th, most likely, to exit. Will SPY hit 434 tomorrow? Interesting. That would be a really big move. I don't see that happening. B. I don't see that happening. You're welcome, Deduct. So, guys, if you're just hopping on, I want to make sure if you haven't taken profits on your short positions, definitely take profits. We might go lower, but do not risk it. If you've got a good chunk, like if you're looking to do the 11 trades to a million, you want to cap yourself at 100% gains. I know that sounds crazy, but if you go higher than that, you risk easily missing your opportunity to take gains. And all you need to do is double your money 11 times, starting with 500. So don't be greedy, be smart. All you need to do is 11 trades of 100% gain. All right, so you look for the ones that guarantee you, or that promise you, I should say, not guarantee, but promise you way more than 100% gain. And when you get that 100% gain, take it and run. Don't look back. Yeah, I think probably we go south. But this is like Knight of Swords energy, I feel like, on the sequence of events. We were already kind of right here at the end of the day, Knight of Swords energy. Which means there could be a pretty big move right here. But it's a very mixed day, and then the cross-threading congruency there. Right. I definitely want to open up a short position here in midday on the 23rd at a high. Maybe a partial, and then at the end of the day, I'd complete it. There might be one last trade opportunity, right? So if we move higher, I might open up a short in anticipation of closing it either here, or if I've got the risk tolerance waiting till the end of the day. I'm not advised to trade there, so that's indicating that there's probably some really some significant chart behavior that would scare me out if I held on to it. But that's not looking like the clearest trade, so I'm not sure I would do it. Right? I was clear about today. When you're unclear, you know, you want to trade on things you're most clear about. Hey Randy, how is Bitcoin looking tonight and tomorrow?
Sorry, I daydream. Happens. I've got serious ADD, which is really flow of ideas, if you ask me. All right, so we didn't go into a lowest low there. Interesting. This was a tough reading, guys, because there was so much back and forth, wild stuff going on. Especially here in this last week, I see this for a lot of stocks and crypto, like this wild flux, like back and forth, kind of conflicting highs and low information in the last week. Is definitely a prominent trough, and we have this big move out of it. We should see a pop and drop tomorrow. And I would probably be betting on the long side right now. Like hopefully people utilize this dip earlier in the day today as an opportunity to open up a long position. You could close that long position around the 21st. Or even hold it until the highest high there on the 29th. But it gets really choppy, guys. I would be very, very careful about betting in one direction in the last week of October on pretty much all things. You're better off trying to profit from volatility itself rather than from a move in one direction, if that makes sense, if you guys understand what I mean. If you don't, I can explain. How is Bitcoin? So how is it looking tonight and tomorrow? So yeah, tomorrow looks like a pop and drop. Yeah, tomorrow looks like a pop and drop. This trough right here is that it didn't end up being a lowest low, but it definitely. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong chart. This trough right here was this one. It didn't end up being a lowest low, but it did end up being a prominent trough that'll stand out because we should see more upward movement here over the next few days in Bitcoin. Hey Randy, so I mentioned yesterday I actually lightened up on my parents' SPCE position, basically like cut it in half. I'm not covering SPC past 2023. Hermes, stop it. It's just that was I have occasionally I'll have a failed prediction. This was one of my worst predictions, and even so, it's still pretty accurate on the 1 year scale. It's pretty darn accurate. It's just we didn't have as big of moves as we expected to the upside, like almost at any case. Where is it? SPC. Oops, wrong one. Yeah, see, this is where we off. The highest high was there in June. We had it for August. This reading was just off, but we did get a lowest low in October, and you can see that right on the cusp of October we got a lowest low. But that's what I'm talking about. There's this Ace of Swords. We should have this big move higher, and I'm just not seeing it happen. It's like, what is going on with this reading? But they're not all going to be right, guys, so you have to be prepared for that. Occasionally we're going to be off. Yeah, I would say there's probably a good opportunity to close out in November. And that's probably what I'll do with SPC is close out the rest of the position in November. I'm about to do the December reading, so ask me tomorrow after I've done the December reading, and I'll have a much better idea of what I want to do in November. But I think I would hold the long position into November. I just closed out half of it because I knew that we were going south, and I wanted to hedge against that position with some puts. So. It might be overnight tonight. It's possible. It's overnight tonight. The market crash. That's what I'm saying. Depending on what we do here at the end of the day, I might put on another long position. But we're going to be doing some like sidewaysy rotation stuff back and forth here. See, sidewaysy behavior. That's the Prince of Discs. I'll tell you what I did. I closed out of speculative puts that were in the money here. I bought them kind of riskily on impulse, but I closed out at a good place. And then I closed my in the money puts here. Like today. I'm going to make a video explaining that. So that's what I did, guys. Even though we might go lower. I did that personally. Because it's a might. I'd rather take profits while I have them. And like I said, I'm gonna get back into that 11 trades to a million relatively soon, but I've got to get far enough ahead that I don't need to do predictions for a little while. So probably by the end of the year, I'll start doing that again. And the point is that you want to be smart. You don't want to look to get the maximum amount of profit. I know this sounds crazy, but if you want to do it properly, you're not looking to get the maximum amount of profit on each trade. What you're looking for is to get 100% gain and cap it out and go and run, right? If you get a little bit more, great. But do not risk it, because all you have to do is double your money 11 times starting with $500. And it's much easier to find a big move that goes like 400% and take 100% gain rather than trying to time that 400% with all the stuff that can happen in between that can make you lose your profit. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. Hey, Conrad. Does Netflix go lower than today? So there's going to be a there's probably going to be a pretty big move there. Sorry, daydreaming. My bad. Here we go. All right. So there was that big move there. But I'm advised not to chase that. I'm advised not to chase that move. This is probably the abundance card in action right here. I think we probably go back to... I think we probably go back to those lows on Monday. There should be like a strong retracement there. Hopefully yesterday people opened up a long position as instructed by the paid version, because even though the move was here on the 19th, we still would have been ready for it. You'd want to close that long position today. I think we either go lower or the same price level. There's going to be another big drop here. How many contracts do I buy at once? I used to buy like a lot. I mean, now I'm not a rich person, my friends. This stuff works much better for other people. I have to be very careful utilizing it for my own personal gain. I have to be very careful. So like just a few, you know, nothing huge. But as the money rises, I'll put on more, you know. The next 5% crash. Well, for sure, but you gotta have the funds for that, my friend. I'm just trying to determine if I want to get back into another short position or not. I'm feeling tempted, but that's usually not a good idea when you to make a decision based on temptation. Hermes, you're in my way, man. Ay, ay, ay. Ugh, it's so hard to determine where we're opening. Oh, it's pissing me off. Well, there we hit that 200-day exponential moving average. And now we're bouncing off of it a little bit, looks like. All right, so this is probably where we see a move to the upside, like a fast sun move higher, marking the end of a period of volatility. And I would, if we get a good move here to the upside, I'm going to get back into a short position with an expiration out further, like the first week of November. I'm telling you, man, be very, very careful with out of the money. That is a bad idea, Deduct. It's don't mess with out of the money. It's risky. You might make a good gain here or there, but if you're trading based on ESO meta analysis, you need to be trading in intrinsic value, because otherwise the moves aren't going to be big enough to put you into in the money range, if that makes sense. Like out of the money, you could see a big move in the direction that you want, but still not put you in the money. And as a result, the value of your option will just trickle away anyways. Even though you saw this big move, you won't be able to capitalize on it. So stay away from those, my man. You might be able to get away with like $1 out of the money, but like I really, you're much better off looking for big moves and like playing the intrinsic value. That's an important word if you guys don't know intrinsic value when you're talking about options. Intrinsic value is like the equity of the like if you closed it now, how much would you get for it? Right? So if you have an out of the money option, it means that it's the price is out, like outside of the value of the actual value of what it is. Like if you close it, you would close it, it would be zero. The value of that option is only the amount of time that you have for it to gain intrinsic value before it expires. So the move on those doesn't necessarily come into play the same way. But you can easily do 100% gain with an in the money option. It's not a big deal. Like if you're going to do it in 11 trades, you got to understand you might get that 400% gain and time it right. But are you going to do that every one of those trades without a failure? Probably not. If you're trying to do it in that many trades, you have to stop. You have to like cap it at 100%, and you're going to get that opportunity and learn to take that opportunity. And here we go. So we have this move to the upside. This is what I picked up on is this combo here is kind of like a similar energy to the Knight of Swords, which gave me the idea that we would probably see a fast sudden move higher, marking the end of this period of volatility, and that's that Prince of Swords there. Right, this is like kind of the Knight and the Prince, kind of like a combo. Comes right after the defeat card. We don't see a Knight of Wands or anything, or sorry, Knight of Swords or anything swords really. Oh well, we got that, but it's not close to a Knight of Swords. So again, guys, I got out of my in the money puts that I started accumulating last week for 100% gain right here. And look what's happened since. I might have left a little bit on the table, but there was opportunity for me to doubt myself and sell with less profit, opportunity slightly more, and now we're in range of me, you know, if I had held on to it, probably selling for less money here as well. That's why here, this was the first cash out opportunity for short positions. It was advised here, not so much at end of day because of what was happening in between. A lot of opportunity for you to miss out on profits selling at the wrong time. Higher delta. I think that's the case. Let me take a look. The Greeks, I always kind of confuse the Greeks. Yeah, so the delta, guys. Let's learn a little bit about options. So what he's talking about, what Deduck is talking about, is this delta number right here. Each one of these is an options contract. Here's the strike price. Here's the buy sell for puts, buy sell or bid ask, I should say, for calls. But the delta indicates for every dollar that the underlying stock moves, how much will the option change in price? And that changes with every dollar as well. As you get closer to out of the money, it becomes less. The deeper in the money you are, the closer it gets to the actual intrinsic value. So for every dollar, that's what I mean, is that you want to be in the money so that you can, if there's like a 5-point gain, you can catch that 5-point gain. Whereas if you're out here, that 5-point gain is going to give you less than 2.5 points on an options trade. So that's what I'm talking about. You want to stay away from out of the money options, guys. I learned the hard way. I lost close to $200,000, guys, figuring this out. And I used almost the entire time out of the money options. It was a big mistake. Big mistake. That was like, I mean, over a 10-year period, pretty much, long time ago. But the way I see it now is it like, I basically paid for a master's degree in psychic finance in losses that I took figuring out how to do this. SPC is up 2.5% today. And it's not so much about the number of contracts either, Deduct. Of course, you can make more money by adding more contracts, but you can also lose that money just as fast by adding contracts. What you want to think about in terms of this is how much money are you allocating to the position and the percentage gain. Should think about it like that. You want 100% gain on whatever amount of money you put into the position. That might mean that you put on 2 contracts and you're looking for a 50% move, or so I don't know how it would work exactly, but that's the way that you want to think about it. It looks like we're going lower now, guys. I might put on a straddle here. Oh yeah, I wasn't messing with options with SPC. That was that's an equity position. My gut said buy another put, so I got in an at the money put, guys. Expiring on the 30th. If we have a sharp drop tomorrow morning, I will close it. If not, I'll probably play long into Monday morning, and then I would close it on the 24th. But it's looking like it's getting kind of ugly. My gut was saying get back in, but you want to when you hop out and back in, you want to put yourself in a better position with less money on the table, right? Keep some of the gains. Appreciate it. It was luck. Do I see Amazon, Meta, and Apple lower tomorrow? Where the heck did that chart go? Oh. All right, so this one over here. Not necessarily tomorrow, but Amazon will be lower on Monday morning and probably lower still on the 25th. Oh, that's Bitcoin. Okay, so Amazon, not necessarily tomorrow. Hard to say. It looks like we attempt to establish support, so there's an important support level. But I could say you could bet on it being lower on Monday and lower still on the 25th. There might be a really sharp drop overnight tonight. It's possible because that Ace of Swords. See, like, if I bought an out-of-the-money option expiring on the 30th, like, and I was wrong about this drop tomorrow, like, the value between tomorrow and when I'd have my next opportunity, the value of the option would depreciate so much because it's only time value. Versus if it's at the money or in the money, let's say it's in the money and I'm wrong about that drop, I'm able to hold it to another opportunity and probably get out with the gain. I did. I said the 25th is the crash. Okay, cool. Good to know. Was that in regard to S&P 500 or a specific stock? 420. Oh well, actually, let me answer. It was Amazon, Meta, and Apple. Let me do Meta and Apple first. Meta, I'd be very careful about. Hard to say. I think we probably open higher tomorrow, and that there's a brief peak that's easily missed. Looks like we open lower for Meta. And then Apple? Yeah. I don't think we're lower in Apple tomorrow. Tomorrow looks kind of mixed with the possible crest. Or if we open lower, there's a big move to the upside out of it. I think 420 is probably still on the table tomorrow. Yes, let me see. Last few minutes, notable move to the upside. Um, I don't know. It might be the same low. It's hard to say if we go lower tomorrow or not, guys. But what I would bet on is if we don't see 420 tomorrow, I would say 420 is going to happen on the 25th, probably. 24th, 25th. There's another unicursal at a high. That's very indicative of a decline because it's at the high position. And we've got the Ace of Wands here as well. This is Monday. No, ESOMeta is not technical analysis. ESOMeta is a third form of analysis that I developed over 23 years. It incorporates meta patterns, which are patterns greater than, like, we're inside of a meta pattern. You can't really see it. It's too big to see. Astrology, those are meta patterns. But there's other meta patterns, fractals and whatnot. And then it also involves various different types of esoteric science and extrasensory perception. That's why it's called esometa. But if you use it in tandem with technical analysis, very, very powerful stuff. Well, technically, the S&P 500 closes at 4, but there's probably some wiggle room in there to get trades in. Oop, sorry. Options. Matter of fact, let me see. Oof, looks like that dip was a fake out. Like, this is the next solid trade, I think, like, really solid is here on the 23rd to open up a short position. Hey, AV, we just answered Meta and Amazon that exact question. Google. If you guys are asking, is it lower tomorrow because you're trying to determine whether or not to take profits, I'll say it again, guys. Take your short profits. It's called short for a reason. Who cares if you miss out on extra gains tomorrow? Like, if you got a good gain, take it. You can always make another trade. It doesn't look like it's lower tomorrow, no. It might be, like in the morning, it's possible, but I don't think so. Although this could end up being a low here at the end of the day, hard to say. Or end of the month, I don't know, I don't think that is. This is a pretty mixed end of the month as well for Google. Tuesday opening a short position. So there might be some retracement in the morning there. There's a low at the end of the day. Sharp drop there. Cross-reading congruency. Yeah, and then I think the 24th is probably lower. We'll see. Not everybody can do that, FYI. There are some brokerages that don't allow that. It also depends on what you're like that might be dependent on like what depth you can see in the market. Like, are you level 1, level 2, level 3 kind of deal? But not everybody can trade until 4:15. Honestly, AV, I did so many I don't even remember. Just scroll back. Like, when we end this, I'm about to end it in a minute here. Just scroll back to like towards the end. I'd say probably like 2/3 into the session. You'll see he asks it up here. It's in the text or in the chat. Unless I have one of them open. Let's see, Amazon. Amazon looked like it was going to be lower, I think. Let me just double check. Does anybody remember what I said about Amazon for tomorrow? Oh, so my answer was that I'm not sure about the 20th, but you can count on it being lower on the 23rd and then probably lower still on the 25th. And Meta. I think Meta was lower too. I think. Let me double check. Meta's a little unclear. It's a little tricky, that one. But there's a brief peak tomorrow that's easily missed, followed by a decline. I got a no for lower price level in Meta tomorrow. Eventually. Thank you guys for the hearts. Appreciate it. So with that said, guys, recap real quick. We might have a drop overnight, a really, really sharp drop overnight. It's possible. It's possible, or we could open a little higher with like, there's a little bit of a retracement in the morning. So that double X indicates possibly a good exit for a short position. But we have lows at the end of the day. I would probably stay bearish. I would want to play mixed. I want to play both sides of the market going into next week.
But hopefully everybody took profits, or if you didn't take profits on a short position, you really should do so like right now before you don't have the opportunity again, right? If it's a good profit, take it. We might open lower tomorrow. Who cares? Take the profit while you have it. It's one of the biggest, most common rookie trader mistakes is not to take profits while you have them. Like a rookie trader will cut all of their losses, so they'll constantly take little small losses, which is good. You want to cut your losses, but not if you don't take your profits when they come, because then all you do is trickle away your money, and then you don't get that big profit to replace all of the cut off losses, if that makes sense. It's a really common mistake. Take your profits while you have them. When you're like, oh no, I should wait, that's the mentality of scarcity, guys, because it's like, oh, this is the only opportunity to make money. I don't want to miss out. Where if you have abundance mentality, you're like, oh, awesome, thank you, let me take this. There'll be more opportunity. Hopefully that makes sense. And 99% of trading is mentality, guys. That's what you should be focused on, studying your own mentality. I'll make one of those groups. I'll get to that for sure. That's a good idea. All right, guys. So with that said, make sure to follow that rule of karma. The channel is counting on you guys to follow through. Things have not been easy throughout October for this channel, so we need the support. You do so here on the resources tab of our website. 5% of the profit should be donated forward to a charity. 5% of the profit should be donated back. It leaves you at 90%. Make sure to spend that money out of love. As long as you do that, universe considers you an angel investor of the channel. It's going to keep showering you with gifts of wealth and abundance. Whereas if you neglect to do that whenever you profit, guys, the universe is going to shut that flow of abundance off post haste. Blessings